Welcome back to another fantastic video. Today we are going to be looking at the organization of the Constitution, and I'm so excited. I hope you are too. Let's do this. So the Constitution can be broken into three different sections. The first section is called the Preamble, and this is where those famous words, "we the people," can be found. And the preamble, the point of it is to kind of give an overview of what this document is and why we need it. Next, we've got the articles, and there are 7 articles in our Constitution, and each one of them kind of outline a specific part of how our government's going to work. We've got Article 1, which tells us about Congress, Article 2 about the executive branch, Article 3 about the judicial branch. So that's really the meat of the Constitution. And the last part, of course, are the amendments, and we have 27 constitutional amendments. The first 10 we know are the Bill of Rights, and they were all ratified at the same time. We'll look at the amendments in a later video. So starting off with the legislative branch, we know that the legislative branch is Congress, and we know that they make laws for the United States. But we need to look at some requirements for office. So if you want to be a member of the House of Representatives, you have to be at least 25 years old. You have to have been a citizen of the United States for at least 7 years, and you also have to live in the district that you're going to represent. Remember, in the House of Representatives, each state is divided up into different districts, and each district has a representative that works for them in Congress. If you want to be in the Senate, you have to be at least 30 years old. You have to have been a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years, and you have to live in the state that you're going to represent, okay? So remember, House of Representatives represents different chunks of people. The Senate represents the entire state. All right, so next, one of the super important things about Article 1 is the elastic clause. And the actual name for this is the necessary and proper clause. But the elastic clause is the part of the Constitution, part of Article 1, that basically says Congress has the power to make any law that they think is necessary and proper, okay? It can be found in Article 1 at the very end of Section 8, which is Clause 18. So Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18, okay? And the necessary and proper clause is sometimes called the elastic clause because this stretches the power of Congress. This definitely increases their power to make laws. Next, we've got expressed powers, and expressed powers are those powers that are specifically written in the Constitution. So things like if you're Congress, you have the ability to declare war. If you're Congress, you have the ability to create post offices. You can coin money. You can do all of these different things. So those are the specific expressed powers that are written in the Constitution given to Congress. Next, we've got there we go. Next, we've got Article 2. And Article 2 deals with the executive branch. And we know that the executive branch is the president, the vice president, and the cabinet. And we know that their main job is to enforce laws. So if you want to be president of the United States, you have to be at least 35 years old. You have to be a natural born citizen, meaning you have to be born in the United States or one of its territories or have citizenship at birth. And you have to be a resident of the United States for 14 years prior to becoming president, okay? Of course, the term of office is 4 years, and we have a limit now that presidents can only serve 2 terms. Jump back up to Congress real quick. Forgot about this one. If you are in the House of Representatives, you serve a 2-year term, and if you're in the Senate, it's 6 years, okay? And the last thing we want to look at today on the president's, the executive branch, is the wild card clause. And this is a clause that can be found in Article 2 of the Constitution. And this says, and I'm paraphrasing, that the executive power of the United States shall be vested in a president, okay? It doesn't really say what executive power is, and it doesn't say what executive power isn't. So this is often called the wild card clause because if you have like a wild card in Uno, you can kind of use it for whatever you want it to be. And presidents throughout history have done that, and we're going to look at some examples in class, okay? So I'm going to stop there for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know.